Yo, it is me, Asti. Today I'm making another video for y'all. I'm showing you my top 10 players I think that could be steals in this 2021 NFL draft. Some late round guys, some a little bit early round guys I think could be steals at where they're supposed to be drafted at. I got 10 players, all different positions. So before we hop into this, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button down below too for me. It's greatly appreciated. And let's get into it. My first deal is a quarterback. Again, these aren't in any particular order, but I have Davis Mills out of Stanford. Now, Davis Mills has shown that he has the traits it takes to be a good quarterback in the NFL at his time at Stanford. It's just that what we saw was only 10 games he started in, so it's a very small sample size. He doesn't do a ton to excite us like Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes might, but Davis Mills is a great quick decision maker. He was fourth in the nation at 2.39 seconds for average throw time, which is better than Trevor Lawrence, so it is there. Davis Mills isn't super athletic, but he was a five-star recruit coming out of high school, so he's athletic enough in my opinion. Mills had a great pro day as well. It's just the small sample size of games he's played is what might make him fall in the draft. He should go around the 4th to 6th, and I think he could be a solid backup right away and eventually work his way into a starting role and be a competent quarterback in the NFL if the right team picks him. My second steal is a tackle who was on the same team as Davis Mills, actually. I have Walker Little from Stanford. His name might seem familiar to some of you, and that's because Walker Little was super hyped up going into the 2020 season. Bleacher Report had him at number 2 overall in their way too early 2020 mock draft. So that's how good this guy could possibly be. He has great upside with a huge ceiling. The catch is that he only played one game in 2 years at Stanford due to injuries. But in that one game he played in, he allowed 0 pressures against a pretty good Northwestern team, in case you're curious. But if Walker Little can stay healthy and is still as good as he once was, he could possibly be one of the best linemen in this class, which I would in fact call one hell of a steal in the rounds 4 to 6. My third steal is a running back, and I've already talked about this guy before on my channel. It's Jarrett Patterson from Buffalo. Jarrett Patterson is a stud, especially in 2020. You can see yourself at the numbers he put up in his 3 years at Buffalo. Absolutely insane. He only played in 4 games in 2020 and had over 1,000 yards and 19 touchdowns, which is amazing. With a great average, too. He broke the Buffalo single-game rushing record multiple times. Broke the record in college football for the most touchdowns in a game with 8, which is absolutely crazy stuff. Now, he did go to a mid-major in Buffalo, so he didn't play a lot of great competition. But the way he dominated them makes me think he'll translate well into the NFL. The best thing about him is that he continuously got better, too. And he can do it all at the running back position, as well as not fumbling the ball once at his time at Buffalo. He's not the biggest, but if a team can get their hands on Patterson in or after the 3rd round, he could be great for them. My fourth steal is a defensive tackle who is not super underrated, but he needed to be in this video. It's DaVon Nixon from Iowa. Now, I am an Iowa fan, so I do admit I'm a little biased, but if you watched any Iowa game this year, you know Nixon left his mark on the game in a big way. Nixon's very athletic, as you can tell from his Euro step on his pick 6 he had against Penn State.
And he just picked that thing off. Now watch him cut back inside like he's Walter Payton or something. Sweetness!
He has great size to play at defensive tackle in a 4-3 or even D-end at 3-4, I think. And he put up great production in only 8 games at Iowa in 2020. The only problem is that he only really dominated for 8 games, which is not a big sample size, which might lead people to think he's a one-year wonder, which isn't really true because he was sort of overshadowed in his sophomore year by A.J. Epinesa, who was a 2nd-round pick to the Bills last year. Nixon is my defensive tackle 1, but I've seen him as low as like defensive tackle 7 or 8, which could have him dropping to the 3rd round or even later. I think he could be a steal to whatever team drafts him. And my 5th steal of the draft is a wide receiver who I've also expressed my strong thoughts on before. I have Marquez Stevenson out of Houston. Stevenson can fly. He has elite speed, which seems to translate well in the NFL if you look at other wide receivers. He was also a return man in Houston, which adds value to a team as well. He's a big play waiting to happen every single time he touches the ball. He tallied 24 touchdowns in his last 3 years at Houston, but he took a step down in 2020 and has some injury concerns going back to 2017. He was out the whole year that year. I think he's being slept on, and I get it. There are a lot of great wide receivers in this draft, but I think Stevenson could be special and could be a great deep threat at the next level they don't call him Big Plague Marquez for no reason. My next steal, I have a big linebacker from the Big Ten, Patty Fisher from Northwestern. Now, Patty Fisher is the pillar of consistency. He was a tackle monster at Northwestern. He averaged 8.5 tackles per game his freshman year, 8.3 his sophomore year, down a little his junior at 7.3 tackles per game. But then his senior year in 2020, he averaged 9.7 tackles per game, which is insane. But playing linebacker is more than just tackling, and I think that's his biggest knock on him. He's not freakishly athletic, and he might be a little too big at the position, but I think he has great instincts as well as being a very durable guy at Northwestern for the 4 years he was there. After Fisher's sophomore year, it was looking like he could be a first-rounder, but he had the drop in production his junior year, which led to his fall down the draft boards. I think he could be a Luke Kuechly-type player at his best in the NFL. Whatever team drafts him, I think he'll be a steal for sure. Seventh steal is a cornerback from UCF. It's Tay Gowan. You might have been thinking I was going to say Aaron Robinson, who is Tay's teammate, who is also a cornerback at UCF, but no, I have Tay Gowan here instead. In fact, the reason I think Gowan is getting slept on is because of Aaron Robertson overshadowing him at UCF. Tay Gowan has great size at 6'2", 185, and he's very fast. He runs about a 4.3 40 time, I believe, and he absolutely clamped every wide receiver he played in 2019, allowing just 20 catches on 50 targets for only 274 yards. His biggest con is that he only has a year of experience since he opted out of the 2020 season. I think he has the potential to be a cornerback one for an NFL team if he plays the way he did in 2019. At number 8, I'm staying in the secondary with the safety here in Javon Holland out of Oregon. Javon Holland has a great ability to locate the ball in the air and make a play on it. He had 10 pass deflections and 9 picks in 2 years at Oregon, but again, no 2020 tape to go off of, so there leaves some question marks there. As well as his ability to tackle and rush the passer on blitz packages. It could have just been a scheme at Oregon, but I'm not too worried about it because with his size, I think he'd be a free safety in the NFL more than a strong safety. Also because of his great coverage skills, I think he fits better at free safety. He isn't really being slept on, being projected in the 2nd to 3rd round, but I think he has the potential to be the best safety in this draft class, so he's my steal here at number 8. My 9th steal is a tight end who I'm a big fan of. I have Brevin Jordan from Miami. I think Brevin Jordan is the next great tight end out of Miami. Now, he did have a bad pro day, which might make him fall even farther in the draft, but Brevin had a great career at Miami. 105 catches, 1,358 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he broke a lot of tackles as well. But the big knock on him, other than his pro day, is his ability to block, and he has some injury concerns. But despite that, I think he is in contention for a tight end 2 in the draft. He's not going to pass Kyle Pitts. Sorry, that dude's a stud. But I really believe in Brevin Jordan. And now to round it out at the edge spot, I have a very intriguing prospect. It's Gregory Rousseau from Miami. Rousseau has a huge frame at 6'7", 253, which allows him to completely control the line of scrimmage. He's super athletic with great strength and speed. He's very versatile with explosive movements. Great bend, twitch, all the great things you want in a pass rusher. To make it even better, he had a breakout year in 2019. He had 15.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. Just based off these things alone, Rousseau has the potential to be a top 5 player in this class, in my opinion. But, and there are a lot of buts.
That's what she said!
He opted out of 2020 and only has 1 year of starting experience, and he has injury concerns. He fractured his ankle freshman year in his 2nd game and missed the rest of the season. Now, Rousseau could be drafted in the top 15 in this draft. I don't think that'd necessarily be a steal, but based on some analyst rankings and whatnot, if he does in fact fall to the 2nd or 3rd, he could easily become the steal of the draft based off of potential and upside alone. So here are all my draft steals on one screen, so you can get a last look at them all. Hopefully, if you're watching the draft this year, past the 1st round, you now have some names to look for and a little more insight on some players here. If you did learn something or believe in one of my steals of the draft, let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like. I put a lot of work into my videos. I really appreciate y'all watching and liking my content. But anyways, I want to thank y'all for watching and hope you enjoyed. Peace.